Hello, this is Sachin Thakur, Assistant Professor, Electrical Engineering Department, Chandigarh Polytechnical College, Gurgaon. In this lecture, we are discussing about the torque versus slip or speed curve. Torque versus speed oblique slip curve. Before going through this topic, in the previous lecture, we are discussing about the torque equation. The torque equation is torque tau, that is directly proportional to S into E2 का square into R2 upon R2 का square plus S into X2 का whole square. We derive the relation that is torque is directly proportional to slip into E2 का square into R2 upon R2 square plus S into X2 का whole square. Here S is slip, E2 is EMF induced in the rotor, EMF induced in the rotor, R2 is rotor resistance, and X2 is here, X2 is rotor reactance. Here this is the formula of torque, that is torque is directly proportional to S into E2 square into R2 upon R2 square plus S into X2 का whole square. This torque we calculated in the previous lecture. Now we are talking about the torque versus slip oblique speed curve. In this topic, firstly, we plot along x-axis torque and we plot x-axis along slip and y-axis along torque. First of all, this is your y-axis, this is your torque tau, and along the x-axis there is slip oblique speed. Okay, here this is origin. Now the torque versus speed oblique slip curve of induction motor operates in two regions. The induction motor operates in two regions. First is your high slip region and second one is your low slip region. The induction motor operates in two regions. First is your high slip region and second one is your low slip region. Okay, if we are talking about high slip region, in high slip region, if we are talking about high slip region, here first is your high slip region. In high slip region, the value of slip is very high. In high slip region, sorry, this is upon R2 square plus S into X2 का whole square. This is the formula we derive in the previous lecture. So in high slip region, the value of slip is very high. The value of slip is very high. So from the relation of torque in high slip region, I am just told you that the induction motor operates in two regions. First is your high slip region and second one is your low slip region. If you are talking about high slip region, as a name high slip, in this region the value of slip is very high. Then from the equation of torque, if the value of slip is high, then in the denominator part, this S into X2 is very high as compared to R2, because in high slip region, the value of slip is very high. So this Sx2, because this S is your slip. So if slip is high, then this component in the denominator part, Sx2 is very high as compared to R2. If we are talking about the torque equation, now the torque equation becomes torque is directly proportional to S into E2 square upon into R2 upon S into X2 का whole square. S into X2 का whole square. Because in high slip region, the value of slip is high. So this component S into X2 is very much high as compared to this R2. Now we ignore this R2 because the value of slip is very high. Therefore, the equation becomes, the equation of torque tau is directly proportional to S into E2 square into R2 upon S into S2 ka whole square. Because this R2 is very small compared to slip in high slip region. So if we are calculate this S into E2 square into R2 upon S into X2 ka square. Here we cancel S from S. Now the equation becomes torque is directly proportional to E2 square into R2 upon S into X2 ka square. Now in high slip region, the equation of torque becomes modified. That is, torque is directly proportional to E2 ka square into R2 upon S into X2 ka whole square. Now we are talking about torque versus slip curve. Now these parameters E2, R2 and X2, these are constant. Therefore, torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon S, because we are talking about just torque versus slip curve. So in high slip region, the torque is inversely proportional to S. So if the torque is inversely proportional to S, here this is your starting torque. From this equation, if the value of slip increases, the torque decreases. Okay, if the value of slip decreases, the torque increases. Okay, now we know that the value of slip lies between 0 and 1. 0 and 1. But at starting, the value of slip is 1, because S is equal, the formula of slip is equal to S is equal to NS minus NR upon NS. At starting, the rotor speed is 0. If you're talking about the starting condition, this NR is equal to 0. So the value of slip becomes S is equal to NS upon NS, that is equal to 1. So at starting, the value of slip is equal to 1. So at this point origin, here slip is equal to 1. This is your starting condition because this is your origin. At starting condition, the value of slip is equal to 1 when NR is equal to 0. At starting condition, we give 3-phase supply to the stator of the induction motor. At starting condition, the rotor don't run. So that's why here I put NR is equal to 0. When I put NR is equal to 0 here, the value of slip is equal to 1. That's why I am right here. S is equal to 1 when NR is equal to 0. Now the next is when NR is equal to NS. When rotor speed is equal to stator speed. When rotor speed is equal to NR is equal to NS. The condition at this is your starting condition, this is your running condition. And we know that this value of NR is always less than NS. So we are just talking about a torque versus slip curve. Here I take the condition when rotor speed is equal to 0, and this is your final condition when rotor speed is equal to synchronous speed. But practically it's not possible. Okay, when NR is equal to NS, then value of slip is equal to 0. So there are 2 points. Here slip is equal to 1 and here slip is equal to 0. Put here NR is equal to NS. In this equation, put NR is equal to ns. Put nr is equal to ns. So this is the condition when slip is equal to 1, nr is equal to 0. Okay, slip is equal to 1 when nr is equal to 0. Here we calculate, this is your starting condition of motor. This is your running condition of motor. So here I put nr is equal to ns. When we put nr is equal to ns in slip equation, then this equation becomes, when we put nr is equal to ns, then the value of slip becomes ns minus ns upon ns. So the value of slip is equal to 0 when we put nr is equal to ns. Okay, now we know that the induction motor operates in two regions. First is your high slip region and second one is your low slip region. We are talking about the high slip region. So we calculate that in high slip region, the torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon s. The torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon s. So this is your starting torque condition. So we calculate that in high slip region, first is your high slip region. In high slip region, we calculate that the torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon s. Here we calculate the torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon s. Therefore, we know that this is your origin point. When we start the motor, this is the starting condition of motor. At starting, nr is equal to 0, so the value of slip is equal to 1. Therefore, this value of slip here is 1. Here the value of slip is decreases. For example, 0.8, 0.9, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, or here 0. At that point, this is the condition. This is your running condition when here 0, s is equal to 0, when nr is equal to ns. Here we calculate that when there are two conditions in the motor. First is your starting condition and second one is your running condition. At starting condition, the value of slip is equal to 1, and at running condition, the value of slip is equal to 0. Therefore, we conclude that the value of slip decreases from 1 to 0. That's why I am writing here s is equal to 1 at starting, then 0.8, 0.9, 0.5, 0.4, s is equal to 0. Okay, here we at 0.5, this is your half portion. 0.5, this remaining 0.5, this is 0.5, then total is 1, because we know that the value of slip lies between 0 and 1. Okay, if we draw the dotted line from this center point, that is 0.5, along this side the value of slip decreases. This is a starting condition. When we start the motor, the value of slip is equal to 1. When the motor starts running, the value of slip decreases. Here the value of slip decreases. So the value of slip decreases, the torque increases. Here this is your starting torque. The torque now calculated is your starting torque. You can also say that TST, starting torque, because we are talking about torque slip curve, and here is the starting condition and here is the motor running condition. At starting torque, at starting condition, we calculate the value of starting torque. That's why I am writing here TST. When the value of slip decreases, the torque increases. Therefore, the torque increases. Slip here decreases. 1, 2, 1, 0.8, 0.9, 0.5. Okay, this is your high slip region. This is your high slip region. Here we calculate that the torque is inversely proportional to S. This is your high slip region. Now the second is your low slip region. Now the second one is your low slip region. Second one is your low slip region. Low slip region. Now the name here, low slip region. In low slip region, the value of slip is very small. The value of slip is very small. So from the torque equation, we saw the denominator part here. This Sx2, this is very small because we are talking about the low slip region. So this value of Sx2, this is very small as compared to R2 because we are talking about the low slip region. In in low slip region, the value of slip is very small. So that's why that component in the numerator part S into X2 is very small as compared to R2. But in case of high slip region, as a name I told you, high slip region, the value of this component Sx2 is very large. Okay, so we're talking about this low slip region. So this value is very small as compared to R2. So neglect this value, neglect the value of slip. Now this torque equation becomes, torque is directly proportional to S into E2 square into R2 upon R2 ka square. Because we neglect this because we are talking about the low slip region. So here this R2 cancels from R2. Now the equation becomes S into E2 square upon R2. But we are talking about the torque versus slip curve. So this parameter E2 and R2 take as constant. Now the torque equation becomes, torque is directly proportional to S. So we can calculate that the value of slip decreases. Here, this is the origin. Here value of slip is 1. Now along from left to right, the value of slip decreases and from 1 to 0. So here the value of slip decreases. Slip decreases. Now, if we are talking about that in low slip region, so the value of slip decreases. Here, if the value of slip decreases, because from starting to running condition, the torque also decreases. Okay, so there are two reasons. First one is a high slip region. High slip region. In high slip region, the torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon S. Or in low slip region, the torque is directly proportional to S. But from here figure, we calculate that at starting condition, the value of slip is 1. When the motor starts running, the value of slip decreases from 1 to 0. So the value of slip is decreases. So value of slip is decreases, in the torque is also decreases in low slip region. So this is the point here, S is equal to 0. So if the slip is decreases, the torque also decreases and it reaches at point, this point, when slip is 0. Here this is your low slip region. This is your low slip region. In high slip region, torque is inversely proportional to S, or in low slip region, torque is directly proportional to S. So we know that at starting, the value of slip is equal to 1, then NR is equal to 0. And this value of slip decreases from 1 to 0. So that's why I am writing here, when slip decreases, when motor starts running, the slip decreases. Thus when slip decreases, the torque increases. That's why here torque increases. Okay, because this is a torque curve. In low slip region, as we know that the slip decreases from 1 to 0. Here the slip also decreases, the torque also decreases. That's why this torque starts down, decreases. And finally, it becomes 0 when NR is equal to NS. So that's why this NR is always less than NS. If this NR is equal to NS, then torque developed in the motor is also 0. Then torque developed in motor is 0. Then there is no torque on the motor. Okay. So this is your torque versus slip curve. Okay. In this lecture, we are talking about the torque versus slip curve. And here, this is the condition. This is your maximum torque. T max. This point is your maximum torque. In the previous lecture, we are deriving the relation for maximum torque, the condition for maximum torque. And this is the point when this is the condition S is equal to R2 upon X2. This is the condition for maximum torque. S is equal to R2 upon X2. So at that point, the value of torque is maximum. And this is the condition for maximum torque. Okay. Now this is your slip region of induction motor. That slip lies between 0 and 1. Okay. This is your high slip region. This is your low slip region. This is overall your torque versus slip curve. Okay. Now, if we are talking about if slip is less than 0 or if slip is greater than 1, then what will happen? Okay. This is the reason of induction motor when slip lies between 0 and 1. This is your motoring mode. We also know that it is a motoring mode. In motoring mode, we are talking about the induction motor. So that's why I write here from this point to this point. This is your motoring mode. Okay. In motoring mode, the value of slip lies between 0 and 1. Okay. Now, if we are talking about that when slip is greater than 0 or slip is less than 1. Now, what is the condition? If the value of slip is less than 1, this is value of slip S is equal to 1, or this is S is equal to 0. If the value of slip is greater than 0, then what will happen? If the value of slip is less than 1 means this side, or greater than 0 means this side. Okay. Now what will happen? If the value of slip is greater than 1, then it is known as braking mode. Okay. If the value of slip is greater than 1, then it is known as braking mode. In braking mode, the motor, we can forward or reverse the direction of motor. In braking mode, the motor behaves as a braking mode. Here, this is the reason for slip is greater than 1. Okay. If the value of slip is greater than 1, now this is known as your mode. This is known as your braking mode. If the value of slip is greater than 1. If the value of slip is greater than, sorry, this is the slip is less than 1. Okay. Sorry, slip is greater than 1. This is the condition for when slip is greater than 1. If we are talking about if the slip is greater than 0, then this mode is known as generating mode. The induction motor operates as a generator when slip is greater than 0. Okay. If we are talking about if the slip is greater than 0, then this is known as your generating mode. Okay. So this is the overall about torque versus slip curve. I repeat again, if the value of slip is greater than 1, then the induction motor operates as a braking mode. If the value of slip lies between 0 and 1, the motor operates in motoring mode. If the value of slip is greater than 0, then the motor operates in generating mode. So the induction motor operates in 3 modes. First one is your braking mode, and second one is your motoring mode, and third one is your generating mode. But if we are talking about the motoring mode, then this induction motor operates in 2 regions. First is your high slip region, and second one is your low slip region. In high slip region, the torque is inversely proportional to 1 upon S, or in low slip region, the torque is directly proportional to S. So this is your torque versus speed curve. Now the question is that why this starting torque never starts from zero? Why it's starting from some point here Ts? This is the starting torque. If this is starting torque, this curve starts from here. Why this curve does not start from here? How it starts from here? Now the question is that why this curve starts from here instead of zero? So as we know that when we gave three-phase supply to induction motor, why this curve starting from this point? Why it is not starting from zero? Because this is your starting condition and this is your running condition. Now the question is that why this curve starting from this point instead of this? So as we know that when we gave three-phase supply to induction motor, a three-phase rotating magnetic field can be produced, which rotates at a speed ns that is equal to 120 F upon P. Okay. When we gave three-phase supply to induction motor, there is a rotating magnetic field in the stator part. Okay, this is your induction motor, this is your stator part. Okay, this is your stator part. This is your induction motor, this is your stator part, this is your rotor part, this is your stator part, and this is your rotor part. When we gave three-phase supply to the stator of the induction motor, a three-phase rotating magnetic field is produced in the stator winding, which rotates at a speed ns that is equal to 120 F upon P. Okay. At that time, the flux is also high, because if B is equal to phi upon A, B is your magnetic field, and phi is your flux, A is your area. At starting, when we give three-phase supply to the induction motor, a three-phase rotating magnetic field can be produced, which rotates at a speed ns is equal to 120 F upon P. At starting, the flux is very high, and at starting condition, the rotor speed is zero. Here nr is equal to 0. When nr is equal to 0 and ns is equal to 120 F upon P at starting, so we calculate that at starting condition the rotor is standstill, but the speed of rotating field of stator is very high. Now if we are talking about the relative speed between the stator and the rotor, at starting, that is ns minus nr. ns is your 120 F upon P and nr is 0. At starting, the relative speed between stator and the rotor is very high. So that's why if the relative speed between stator and rotor is very high, then this flux cut is also high, because there is very high relative speed between stator and the rotor at starting. So this flux cut is also very high. So flux cut is also high, then the starting torque is also high. So that's why this point never starts from 0, it starts from some instead of 0. Okay, so this is the reason we are talking about why this point never starts from here. Why the starts from here, the starting torque point. So the relative speed between the stator and the rotor is very high. Due to the relative speed between stator and rotor is very high, so the flux cut is also very high. So that's why the starting torque is high at starting. So that's why this curve never starts from 0, it starts from some point here. So this is the main reason that the starting torque starts from here. It never starts from origin because this is your starting condition. So at starting condition, we know that rotor speed is 0. That is, rotor is your standstill. So when we give three-phase supply to induction motor, a three-phase rotating magnetic field is produced, which rotates at a speed ns is equal to 120 f upon p. Now at starting condition, this your rotor speed is 0. So if we are talking about the relative speed between stator and the rotor part, here relative speed between rotor and the stator. So if we subtract ns minus nr, so this speed is very high. So the relative speed between the stator and the rotor is very high. If the relative speed between the rotor and the stator is very high, the flux cut is also very high. So the flux cut is high, the torque is also high because torque is directly proportional to phi into I into cos of phi 2. If flux cut is high, so this starting torque is very high because we are talking about the starting condition, not the running condition. So the main reason for this point shifts here, the main reason is that the relative speed between the stator and the rotor is very high. So this curve starting from that point here, this point, it never starts from 0. Thank you.